All right, every day here on Minnesota Live, we try to show you where to go, what to do, what to see. And today, we are going off the playbook just a little bit to talk about how you date.
So dating, from what I can recall, can be magical. It can also be stressful, and I really don't recall much of it. For those of you over 50, it can be particularly daunting. Local professional matchmaker Sabrina Lorbiecki is here from It's Just Lunch with how to get started and how to not get burned out in the process. Sabrina, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. What a great way to start my week.
So let's talk about the burnout thing. Why do people feel so burned out by this?
I think there are a lot of reasons. First, it can become like work, right? You're going to work 50, 60 hours a week. You come home, you have to log into something, which sounds like work, and you start not having fun anymore, kind of going through it going, this isn't what I want. I want it to be instant, and it's usually not instant.
Well, I feel like COVID kind of made dating weird too. Like people had the hang of it, and then COVID happened, and then they were like, how do we date during COVID? So,
yeah, which tends to the electronics, right?
Yeah.
Because we weren't able to go out. So what do? We pull it up, we're looking for somebody, and at first, it's so fun. There's so many options. And then you start going, oh, there's a lot of options out here, and how do I weed through it? Which is the hard part.
And be overwhelmed.
So people just get overwhelmed with that, I guess, right? I mean, should you limit the time that you're on these things? Like you're on, I don't know what app we're on, Match or whatever we're showing here, but like you said, just say to yourself, like, listen, you're only going to spend an hour on this tonight, or how do you?
Or you're only going to do it if you're like finding joy in it, or?
Right. There are definitely some guidelines that you should start with. And first is this making me happy? And if it's not making me happy, stop doing it. You know, if you don't have a positive attitude, if you're not looking forward to going on a date, then don't. Hit that pause button. Or if you are actually not going on the dates, right? If all you're doing is texting back and forth, or if you're emailing back and forth, reassess. What am I looking for? Talk to your friends. And if you haven't dated, to your point, 55 plus, in a really long time, practice. Go out on a mock date with a friend and see how it goes.
Oh, that's intimidating.
I think that would be
really
harder
scary.
than anything, because you don't want your friend to not like you anymore.
To like realize that you're
something stupid.
More like, put on a fun outfit, see how it feels.
I was thinking like
different.
Interview.
No.
I was like, oh, that's pressure.
Right. No. And if it's pressure, a little pressure is good, right? That's what gets us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
But what my clients tell me a lot at It's Just Lunch is more of I want to have fun, and I need to be in a positive mindset. And sometimes you get those jitters out of your system when you do go somewhere new.
Oh, sure.
And you have lunch, and you talk, and you think, what am I going to say on a date? What types of topics would I do? So that's kind of the fun part, too.
No, you go.
I was going to just ask about like the burnout, right? So like I'm thinking of the people, like all the images that we have are of people who are in their 20s or 30s. But then you have, people who are in their 50s who are maybe, newly divorced, or they're widowed, or they just didn't find that person in their 20s. And so they're at the point in their life where they want them. Are people feeling burnout across the board? Are you seeing like different trends with the younger
Here's those fun
people
20-year-olds. Online dating is fun.
Right. Not necessarily. I think dating can be hard for everybody, right? That's why I have a job, because it is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay to say that, and getting yourself back out there and having a positive mindset and practicing will get you where you want to be. But whether you're over 55 or you're under 35, just make a realistic list of what it is that you're looking for and start looking at things, reminding yourself that if you haven't dated in 30, 40 years, that's okay, because that person coming to the date probably hasn't either. And so just be open-minded and talk about it. I'm a little nervous. Me too.
So It's Just Lunch, for example, this is something, I guess I always thought of this as being a young corporate person type thing, but it's obviously not, because we're talking about people, who are older. And so, I mean, you're serving people of all ages, I guess.
Absolutely. The only thing you have to be is single, right? You have to be single, and you want to not be single anymore. And then we're going to get you in front of that right person.
And you do some like pre-questioning stuff, so that you're going to be in a room with 5 people that at least are kind of in your wheelhouse? Or
Well, we only do one-on-one dating.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit different.
That's speed dating.
That's speed dating, right. But you'll do a whole interview with a personal matchmaker, talk about your wants, where you want to go, what you like to do, and then we're going to get you in front of somebody like that, like-minded.
Is everybody looking for marriage, or are people just looking for companionship, for friendship?
All of the above, right? If you come in thinking, I'm widowed, I can't possibly imagine ever being married again, that's okay. You know, be honest with yourself and be honest with us. We're going to get you in front of that right person. But getting yourself in front of that right person also starts with that.
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
For sure.
What are my have-to-haves? What are my okays? And what are my, okay.
And I like the idea of talking to your friends, being open-minded to things. I mean, a lot of those things that kind of take you out of your comfort zone, but you can learn a lot from yourself when you do that.
Exactly.
Sabrina,
Lots of things.
thank you so much. Really fun to chat with you today. If you want to put down the phone and have Sabrina match you up for a lunch date, we have posted her contact information on MinnesotaLive.com.